Bayern Munich is playing tomorrow against PSG. Now, I could have made a Champions League prediction where I also speak about Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, but honestly, guys, I don't care. I don't care. I'm only here for Bayern Munich. This is solely a Bayern Munich channel for now, at least, and I wanted to just speak about my team. First of all, we're just going to look at the predicted lineup and how that will lead up. We're going to speak a little bit about Vincent Kompany's suspension. What does that mean for us, Bayern Munich fans? And to top it off, we will make maybe an all 11 Bayern Munich versus / PSG team and see which player gets in and why they get in. Well, to start off, I just wanted to say that tomorrow is going to be a very tough game for us. It's going to be very interesting due to us having so many injuries already. God damn, Leonard Carl is out. I don't think he's with us. Rafael Guerrero is now out for the season, at least out for the entirety of the season, most likely. If we're being honest, it's like a hamstring injury. Wisdom Mike has been out for a while. Gnabry out for the season, of course. Tom Biskov has some sort of a calf injury. We are having injuries upon injuries. Musiala is like slowly and steady coming back. Of course, he's not 100%. You can see it in the way he plays. He's not 100%. Davies is also not 100%. You can see it even when we were playing against Mainz, how they were playing. They were very, 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 uncertain. They looked very I guess you could say shaken a bit to some extent. They weren't super confident. Even though Musiala had that brilliant of a performance, I don't think he was the Musiala that we knew pre that ankle injury. I think with time, of course, it will take some time for him to become the player that I want him to become, but it will take time, guys. It will take time. So yeah, I think honestly it's going to be a very tough game. I don't know how our head-to-head is. So far, I think we have met them every single Champions League campaign. And honestly, it's been so weird. I feel like we have won most of those head-to-heads. The one I do remember very well is the season after we won against them, when Hansi Flick left. I wouldn't say he got sacked. He left. He decided to leave after winning the sextuple. He felt like he did and achieved everything, and he wanted to go to the German national team. So that's what he did, and he left us after being kicked out by PSG. The recent history, of course, the team is definitely not the same. I think they had Neymar back then. No, they didn't. They had Mbappe still playing around, but now they have completely shifted the entire team. They've changed things around. Most of the players that played then do not play now. There's probably like 3 players that are in their starting 11 that played against us 5 years ago, I guess you could say. 4 years ago. I don't exactly remember what time it was, but it was something along those lines. So I think of course, PSG, we played against them earlier this season. I don't think they were half as good as they are now. They rested most of their players, such as we did, but I think we also did play our starting 11 to some extent. We at least subbed in some of the players that do play for us, but one key player for us that didn't get subbed in or wasn't played or wasn't even in the match at all was Upamecano. And I think I've always been very vocal about how integral and how important he is for us, even though yes, he makes all these mistakes and he has some bozo moments, but I think the reward outweighs so heavily the bozo moments. And I think he's such a great player. He can play those split lane passing balls. What else can he do? He has the IQ to know which player to track, where to be at the right exact time, so that a goal doesn't get conceded or a player doesn't get through one-on-one against, for instance, Neuer or Udbik. And I think Dayot Upamecano is much more important of a player and a centre-back than Jonathan Tah. But I remember one of you guys, I don't remember which one who said it, but someone said that Dayot Upamecano's performance is linked to Jonathan Tah. Jonathan Tah has made him a better player. And I was actually disagreeing with the fact that Dayot Upamecano is actually the reason as to why Jonathan Tah is the player he is now. And honestly, I think I've never really rated Jonathan Tah. I think if you guys watch all my videos, you would know that I don't like that guy. And now I have come to accept him as part of the team, and I do appreciate the player he is, and I do rate him to some extent. But there's a part of me that is like, I don't know, I still side-eye him, you know? Still side-eye him. But I still respect him. I still think he's somewhat of a decent player. I think it's just a long-term feud with me and him, and me not being a big fan of him in general, thinking he's a very fugazi kind of a midfield centre-back, and me not really rating it. But all in all, I think Kompany has shown and been very vocal about how important Dayot Upamecano is, and you could say the same way. I think Dayot Upamecano, the kind of risks that he takes and the rewards that we get for playing him is the type of, I wouldn't say it's the same, of course, it's not on the same level, but I think it kind of resembles Neuer. You know, Neuer is one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. He is, for me personally, and it might be a little bit of bias, but at the same time, I have my reasons and I can actually back my claims for the stuff I say. I think Neuer is the greatest goalkeeper of all time. And there's, of course, a couple of goalkeepers that come after him, or, you know, that you can even say that he might be better. For instance, Buffon. Some might argue Buffon is better. Some might argue Pericek is better. But the point is, Neuer, even though he's regarded as one of the best players, one of the best goalkeepers of all time, he's the same type of goalkeeper that was, you know, competing against Ronaldo and Messi in a Ballon d'Or, right? He is also the same goalkeeper that has the most mistakes made by a very high prolific goalkeeper. And the reason for that is him being so outside and being outside of his box and being so, you know, taking all of these risks. And when you take risks, of course, there's some consequences. There's some negative pushback that happens. And I think with Neuer, there's just a different type of element to it where the reward is just much higher, right? So, yeah, that's what it is, man. And I think that's the type of role that Dayot Upamecano has, and I really appreciate that Kompany is also saying it. I always liked Upamecano as a player. And Kimmich, of course, and Pavlovic has been the greatest 8 and 6 in our team so far. You know, the companionship with Kimmich and Goretzka, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. And that's because I haven't been a huge fan of Goretzka for like, I don't remember, ever since Nagelsmann came in his first season. I thought Goretzka was not it. And I have tweets that even back it, me saying that I don't really like the guy anymore. And I don't know what the hell happened to him. You know, he's a shell of himself. And I think it's because of how Hansi Flick set up his team. And that's why he was rated so highly. Anyway, now we're going a little bit quickly. I think I spoke a little bit too long about the team and its individual players. But I want to speak about Kompany and, you know, him being suspended and not having any significant role in tomorrow's game. It's going to be very tough for the players, honestly. I think, you know, just having an assistant coach around, and it's going to be very tough because when it comes to, of course, I think the assistant managers can do something. And I think the instructions will be quite clear. But one thing that will be very hard is the in-game management. You know, without Kompany's in-game management, it's going to be very tough. An assistant manager is going to be meeting a Luis Enrique. Let's say, you know, we start the game and we are on 10-10. You know, the tactics that Kompany laid down was amazing. Luis Enrique can, you know, switch things up and tweak some stuff. And, of course, you know, that in-game management will always come in handy, especially when it's of the stature of a player like, or a manager such as Luis Enrique, right? So I think it's going to be very tough for us. If you told me, you know, Bayern Munich is obviously, you know, we're rocking up with our starting 11. You know, we have our best players around. Kompany is still there. I think I would have been very much more confident. But right now, with the Kompany being suspended, not being able to, you know, communicate with his players, I don't know, man. There's something in me that is like a little bit nervous because I'm also, you know, this is gonna sound so weird, but based on what happens tomorrow, I'll be booking tickets for Budapest. And if Bayern somehow win, not if, when Bayern win, my tickets will be booked for Budapest. That means that I will be in the Champions League final watching my team eventually and hopefully lift the trophy, right? And it's gonna be very tough when of course we go down and I take the risk and take the gamble. It's gonna be very painful, but I honestly do think that even though we're playing away, and I think that having Luis Enrique on the pitch, making demands, being able to switch things up when he can and when he needs to, is gonna be very tough on us. But I think Kompany has, of course, planned for a lot of things, and the assistant manager is an assistant manager for a reason. He has some sort of the same philosophy as Kompany has. So, of course, there will be some good in-game decisions, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. I think it will be quite alright. I just don't know what to do because it's going to be very, very tough. But I'm still looking at some insights from FootMob, and I'm seeing that PSG scored just once across 4 Champions League home matches against Bayern Munich. PSG won just 3 of their last 11 meetings with Bayern, and PSG won all 4 Champions League knockout matches this season, conceding just twice. Only one team scored this in 6 of the last 10 PSG Bayern meetings. And I mean, it just looks like we are in a much the based on what I'm reading from FootMob as well and the insight, it just sounds like everything is on our favor and it's on our side. But honestly, man, these type of stuff, these type of decisions, you don't really know, especially when Vincent Kompany is not around. But I've been speaking for 12 minutes now, so I've been speaking for a long time and all my days, I can't believe it. I get lost when I get a little bit passionate about football and my team, but we can make it a little bit quick and just talk a little bit about the team, and then we could do maybe the all-time 11 or the best 11 next time, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how much time we have left. But to start off, I'm looking at the predicted lineup. This looks like something that we will maybe start with. I don't think we will be starting with Davies, of course, because Davies is still injured, and I do believe that Lima and Stanisic will be playing. And when you look at who the right back and the left back is, of course you see there's a difference, and there's a stark, huge difference in quality. We have Stanisic as a right back, of course a Bavarian player, a Bayern Munich academy player. I do rate him to sometimes, but I have also called him Stanis shit. But that's because he has been booky and doo-doo at some games. But, we'll see how this goes. But Lima has been amazing. I really love Lima. And if Davies is available and even Pass has the opportunity and the possibility to play even 45 minutes, one half for us, I wouldn't mind seeing him on the left back and then right back being Lima. That's a much, much better thing. Of course, Upamecano, Tah, Neuer, they'll be starting. It's very predictable. Kimmich, Pavlovic, very predictable. Musiala as a number 10. And I think will most likely happen. That's because he's the only player now left as our 10. We don't really have any more 10s left. Leonard Carl is out. So we can't even have that interchangeable, between Olise and Leonard Carr, where they go their different separate ways, and they kind of like, how do you say, they play this fluid football where they go one goes right wing, the other one goes into central, and then they go and switch back and forth. I don't know exactly the word for it. I don't remember, but Musiala kind of don't have a choice, so he'll probably be playing, and I'm not really surprised that he's there. Of course, Harry Kane, Olise and Luis Diaz, left wing and right wing, and striker. That's very much expected. Now, Safonov, I did not expect him to be playing, if I'm going to be honest, guys. I thought it was going to be that Chavalier guy. Maybe Chavalier is injured, but it does say on football that there's nothing up there. And I don't know what happened to Chavalier. Maybe Chavalier is not good anymore. I don't really know. But The Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, and Mendes backline, it sounds like exactly what I would have predicted myself. But Neves, Zaire Emery, and Ruiz. I do wonder what happened to Vitinha. I've not really been watching and following the PSG game or the PSG players in general, but what the hell happened to Vitinha? I would have actually expected Vitinha to be playing or instead of Zaire Emery. Very interesting over selections from football, but I don't really think that's what's going to be happening. If Vitinha is not injured, I think he will be the one starting, if we're being honest. So, every single video I make, someone is calling me, bro. Every single video. I'm sorry, guys. So left wing is Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Doué. Of course, I don't believe in the, they're very fluid. They're very interchangeable. They go left wing, right wing, striker. It doesn't really matter. Dembele is not really a striker. He's a false nine. All of these players, they will just interchange and they'll be very fluid. But who is more fluid than Bayern Munich? I mean, you'll be seeing Upamecano sometimes be up here where Kimmich is, and Kimmich will be up here where Olise or Musiala is, and then Stanisic will be a little bit higher. I mean, one of the assists that Upamecano got from Real Madrid, he was all the way in here, right into the box of, like, right outside of the box of Real Madrid, if you're being honest. Of course, he was in the back line, but he took, he took that step in. And I've seen games where Gnabry is like all the way down here next to Neuer. Neuer is a little bit further apart, and then somehow Gnabry is the player that is like at the end, or who's the furthest man back, I guess you could say. So anyway, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see nonetheless. We can do a quick 4:55. I mean, guys, you know what, man? It's one of those days. Let's just make it the quickest of quickest starting 11s, okay? I don't even remember. Okay, we are now on lineup builder. We're gonna do it very quickly. Who was it between? It was between Safonov and Neuer. Of course, we're doing Neuer. I think Neuer has been I mean, he doesn't even play like he's 40 these days, but I am picking him. Next up, I'll be picking Upamecano. Sensational player. I think he's our best centre back. He is one of the best centre backs currently around. There's not that many centre backs available right now that I can top in. Next up, we're going for Pacho. I think William Pacho has had a little bit of dip in form in general. I don't think he has been that outstanding compared to how he was last season, but he's still much better than who Jonathan Tah is, unfortunately. Right back, very straight much forward. Hakimi will be playing. I don't really... The thing is, as a person though, I don't really like him as a person. There's so many allegations on his neck, so I don't really like him. I'm not really a big fan of everything that he does, but as a player, he's quite solid, so he will be the player that goes there. Left back is Nuno Mendes. I mean, we don't really have to say anything. He's the best left back in the world currently. Striker, well, I want to just make it very quickly. Striker will be Harry Kane. I mean, honestly, wrong player. It's going to be Harry Kane because, I mean, guys, let's be honest here. Let's be real here. Harry Kane is the best player right now, currently available. And now one of the best strikers right now in the game. He's on the track of, and in this, he has even, I think there was a stat going around where he has actually surpassed the trajectory of Messi's 91 goal season in 2012. And, I mean, I don't think Harry Kane can replicate it, but you get what I mean, though. You know what I'm saying? You get what I mean. He's very fast. He's one of the... I mean, Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world. I would have arguably second or third greatest English striker of all time. This guy is just pure elegance. A good striker that can play in every single position. He can play, and he's technically brilliant. He has the high level IQ, which is also why he doesn't need to run a lot, even though he's very quite slow actually. So I think he's just such a great player overall. Right winger, Olise, I don't think we have to say too much. I think besides Lamine Yamal, he's the second best right winger in the world. I don't need to even discuss that one. The left one, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky because it's either Kvaratskhelia or Luis Diaz. And honestly, I think if I want to be biased, I would say Luis Diaz, but I think there's just something with Kvaratskhelia where he's low key been the main man for PSG. He's their best player, and I don't think Luis Diaz is their best player. So our best player. So I think I would say Kvaratskhelia is the best player right now for PSG. Right now, PSG has 1, 2, 3, 4 players, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's very quite forward. As the 10, Musiala, very straightforward. Not much to say. I think as the sixes, I think Kimmich has just been on a whole nother level this season. He's just one of the best midfielders around right now, and I don't even know if there's that many players that can even compete against him. And as an A, Pavlovic has been that 6/8. I don't know. It's very interchangeable between Kimmich and Pavlovic what their role is because both of them can play 6 and both of them can play 8. So it's very hard to say. But Pavlovic is a straight switch and replacement from Goretzka. So I would say an 8. And if we're picking 8, right, then it has to be João Neves or Pavlovic. I think honestly this season Pavlovic has just been too great for us, and maybe it's little bit biased because I don't watch PSG play that much, but I think honestly this is the type of team I would be putting up if this is the best 11. This is my best 11. Between or combined 11 by PSG and Bayern Munich. Me personally, honestly. Yeah, it's a little bit rushed one. I haven't really spoken too much about the teams, but it is what it is. You guys can suck on it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 players is Bayern Munich, and then the rest, the remaining 4 is PSG. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to also do a quick match prediction as well. I think I should have actually started with that. I think Bayern Munich will most likely win I think actually this game will be a draw. If I'm being completely honest, I don't see Bayern Munich winning this game. It's going to be very tough. So if it's either going to be Bayern Munich 2-1 or Bayern Munich and PSG 2-2. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be honestly a draw, 2-2 draw. But yeah, comment down below what you guys think. Give me your predictions in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow after the game. Peace.